For show and tell today, I have the Aipas M2 Pro Xterrain e-bike. This big beefy boy has a powerful 1800 watt rear hub motor. It can go up to 85 miles on a single charge. It can carry up to 500 pounds, and that is including anything you put on the rear rack. It comes equipped with blinkers, 5 pedal assist modes, full electric mode as well. It has a huge colorful screen, a pretty decent size headlight, and it can go almost 36 miles an hour. So next up, I'm going to test ride the bike. But if you're here for the unboxing and assembly portion, that'll be towards the end of the video. I'm gonna put this bad boy on pedal assist 5 and pedal to top speed. Let's see how fast it goes. And also, I'm gonna shift it to the hardest gear, gear 7. Yikes. I thought it was supposed to go to 28 miles an hour. It went to 35. 35 miles an hour. I was not expecting that. Oops. I thought it goes 28. So yeah, no. Once you unlock the speed, it goes a little bit faster than 28. There's a little message here on the screen that says to remove the speed limit, please go to setting P08 in the owner's manual. Here under P08, which is speed limit, it basically says if I put the setting for 45 or more kilometers per hour, it should fully unlock the speed. So let's unlock the speed. First, I gotta turn on the bike, so I just hold down the power button. And yeah, it does this every time. Then I hold plus and minus at the same time. Use the plus button to get to 0.08. And then to get down here, I'm gonna click on this I button. That'll flash. And it looks like the max is 62. To set that, I'm gonna click on the I, and then to go back to the main screen, I'm gonna hold the I. I can tell without even looking at anything that this is a cadence sensor. So it really doesn't matter how hard you pedal, as long as you're pedaling, it's a pretty easy breezy ride. That motor kicks in and it just kind of maintains speed without much effort. If you do want a little bit of resistance though, put it on gear 1 or not gear 1 or 2. Put it on pedal assist 1 or 2 and like the hardest gear to pedal in, gear 7, and then you'll get a workout. Otherwise, it's easy breezy. There's no workout. So yeah, the difference between torque and cadence, torque will respond to how hard you're pedaling. It's more like a real bicycle, and this is definitely like an e-bike. It's as long as you're pedaling, the motor will do most of the work for you. So basically in situations where you need to speed up, you do have to put it on a higher pedal assist mode instead of just pedaling harder and faster. Let's try the same thing, but throttle only, full electric mode. Well, that's terrifying. It goes to 33.5 miles on full electric mode, and with pedaling I got it to 35 miles an hour, and I don't want to do that again. I don't like going that fast. Full electric mode, pedal assist 1 caps out at about 9.9 miles an hour, 2 caps out around 13.2 miles an hour, 3 caps out around 16.5, and 4 23.8 miles an hour. Let's see how this big beefy boy does on my hill. The hill's approximately 26 degrees at its steepest point, so I am going to downshift. I don't even know if it's necessary on this bike, but I really should be in gear 1 for this, and I'm going to put it on pedal assist 5. I'm just going to do it from a dead stop. Let's see how it does. I think I need more than a dead stop. Let's try this again. I definitely felt the motor straining a bit there towards the end at the steepest point, but with a little bit of a running start, it did it. I am now realizing why the bike kind of struggled going uphill. The hill is 26 degrees at its highest point, this can go up to 23 degrees. So I really did put this one to the challenge.
Just like the bike, the motor's also a big boy. It's located in the center of the rear wheel. It is a hub motor, and this thing is 1800 watts. So just to be on the safe side, maybe bring your driver's license with you.
On the website, it says the recommended height is between 5'8" to 7'6". I have the seat in position 3, which means there's only a couple notches left to raise it higher. And the way I have it set up, my tippy toes just barely touch the ground. And for reference, I am 5'8". Normally, at some point when you're pedaling, you do want your legs perfectly straight on a bike. But with an e-bike, there's a lot less strain on your knees. So you don't necessarily have to do it that way. So I guess a taller person could use it if you don't completely straighten out your leg.
The max range that you can get on a single charge is up to 85 miles. But that is under ideal conditions, which means perfectly flat paved ground, no wind, using pedal assist 1, and not weighing the max load that this bike can carry, which by the way is 500 pounds. Pretty impressive. Even if you weigh half that, you may not get 85 miles on a single charge. In full electric mode, so throttle only, and a throttle is this motorcycle style over here on the right side of the handlebars, you can get up to 36 miles.
Between the suspension in the front, a shock absorber over here in the rear, and a cushy seat, it's a nice bouncy off-road ride. And with massive tires like this, you can roll over almost anything. So if there's any obstacles on your off-road ride, this should be able to tackle it. These fat boys are 26 inches in diameter and 4 inches wide.
Here's a suspension in action. You can have a bouncy ride, and with the flip of this lever, it's a more rigid ride. Something I oftentimes forget to show in videos is that most e-bikes have walk assist. To activate it, you hold down the minus button and you can walk alongside your bike.
I love that it has suspension and a shock absorber just all over the place in the front, in the center. Seat's pretty bouncy as well. So my tushy's happy. When my tushy's happy, I am very happy as well. I love fat tires, especially when they're on the bigger size and not just the 20-inch tires. I like the big ones better, and these provide a lot of stability. So I'm able to film one-handed with no issues. I don't feel like I'm gonna fall over, which means if you have both hands on the bike, it's going to be even better. And with tires like this, you can go on more terrain. So off-road, on-road as well, flat pavement. But you could probably take this to the beach. I've never tested a bike on the beach because the beach is like an hour away from me. And yeah, unless it's folding, I ain't going. I'm not a big fan of the beach. The sand gets everywhere into like every single crevice, if you know what I mean. And it's just, I'm over it after being in Florida for all these years. I really don't want to go to the beach. It's got 7 gears. You really don't need to play around with those. With the bike like this and a cadence sensor, you could literally just put it on a gear and leave it there forever. But if you're going up a really steep hill like I did, still put it into gear 1. The easiest one to pedal on. And I am a huge fan of blinkers, but I am still waiting for a company to come out with a blinker that actually makes a noise like a car does, because guess what? I keep forgetting to turn it off. Half this ride I've been blinking that I'm going right, and I've been going pretty straight, so whoops. And it doesn't show you on the screen when the blinkers are on either, so you just kind of have to remember that they're on, and remembering is getting harder and harder as I get older. This is not the only color the bike comes in. This one's actually called gray, even though to me it looks kind of light blue. There is a blue one, which is more blue. There's also black and green. I don't know if I'm saying this company's name correctly. Aipas. And I noticed they have 2 different models. One is $949, and then if you click on Max, $1,148. But when I click between the 2 of them, I'm not really seeing the difference. So I guess while I wait for them to respond back to me, I'm just gonna lay down here and take a nap.
Alrighty then, info acquired. I have the Pro, which has mechanical disc brakes. So they use a cable to stop instead of fluid. The Max has hydraulic disc brakes, which use fluid. hydraulic are more responsive, but they are also more maintenance. The Pro has standard suspension, while the Max has pneumatic suspension or air suspension.
Oh, yeah, I gotta do my cheesy outro. Toodaloo-loo. Bye. I hope to see you in the next one.
That completes my test ride. Next up, unboxing and assembly. And then the video will just kind of end abruptly.
Yeah, I'd say they packaged that pretty well. Let's see what's in this box. But first, let's see what's in this. I'm guessing it's the seat post. Sure is. Metal pedals, if you couldn't tell by the words on the bag. A whole bunch of tools, which means there's gonna be a whole bunch of screwing in this video. In this little box, I'm guessing is the charger. Yep. And if you want to see the specs on here, go ahead and pause the video. The box got a bit dinged up. Even though there's a bunch of arrows pointing which way the box should be, it rarely gets delivered that way. Look at this. High quality paper and pictures. Really good pictures. And there's also some extra zip ties. I am not gonna go in order of the instructions. I don't like to be told what to do, in other words. Or I just find it easier when the bike is stable, and once the wheel is on and that kickstand is down, I feel more comfortable working on the rest of it. I'm gonna start by removing the nut and the washer with the little hook on it from both sides. Next, down here, sometimes I can do this with my bare hands, but no. I gotta loosen up this and get it out of here. It's usually easier to do this with the bike upside down, but when I don't have to turn them upside down, I don't. This is round 2, by the way. It didn't go as smoothly as I hoped. Maybe it'll go a little more smoothly this time around. Now that washer with the hook goes in there, and there's a little hole for the hook and the nut. It's the same thing on both sides, and be sure to tighten this down a lot. The manual also said the fender and the light go on before the wheel, but it doesn't really matter. This is really basic stuff, so this will go here. The light will go here. And there's a screw here, screw there, and a screw on the other side. Take out all the screws, put all the stuff through the screws, and then screw the screws back. The light goes in front of this. So, big washer, leave it on there. Pop the screw through, then the fender goes behind that. And then using tools, tighten everything down. Yeah, I think the fender's a little low, so I'm gonna loosen it. Move that up a little higher and retighten everything back down. Next are the handlebars. So I gotta rotate this to the front. On the side, on both sides actually, there's a couple screws I'm gonna loosen up. And I have to remove these 4 screws right here. And now this is when I can put the handlebars on here and put those 4 screws back in. I left the screen in its packaging because I didn't want it to get messed up during assembly. And there's just a couple of screws I gotta take out, and then that just plops over here and the screws screw back in. Normally the back fender is already attached, but for whatever reason it is not here. Maybe for shipping, who knows? So I'm gonna go ahead and attach it. There's a screw here and a washer that I just dropped. That just goes back in through here. And there's another screw here and on the other side as well. So I'm gonna take that out, stick it through here, and screw everything down. So there's actually 4 of these, 2 on each side. If you want the rack on the back, we're not done screwing yet. There's a whole lot more screwing in the back. To attach the rack, there's 4 screws. They're already in the frame, 2 on each side. Get the screws in like halfway, I would say, and then do the other side. Don't fully tighten each one down quite yet. So once I have all the screws in there, I can go ahead and tighten all of them down. And while you're here over on the other side, find this cable right here, fish it through all of the zip ties, well, as many as it can reach. Grab the cable from the light, fish it through that zip tie, and connect it. Next up are the pedals, and this is important. You gotta put the correct one in the correct spot. So the right one, if there's no sticker here, it'll say it on the bottom as well. So the right one will spin in there clockwise. Do be sure to use a wrench to tighten it down. And then the left pedal will spin in the other direction counterclockwise. Normally the post is already in the seat. So this is not in the instructions, by the way. I'm guessing I just tighten down these two screws. Yep. The final piece of the puzzle is putting in the seat. So there's just this little clamp here. I'm gonna undo that. I don't know yet where I want the seat, so I'm gonna guess. And try to get it, well, as tight as possible while still being able to clamp it down. Okie dokie. She is done, but she's not turning on, which means either the battery is dead or there's a button on the battery that I gotta push. To take out the battery, you do need the key, and that's the only thing you need the key for. So once I unlock it with the key, there's just this little lever here. Oh, look at that, there is a button. And the battery comes out. This is a 48 volt, 17.5 ampere hour battery. Let's see if the bike starts up now. I'm gonna go ahead and stick that back in there. I'm gonna hold down the power button. Yay! And we're ready to roll. Well, not quite. I'm gonna give the battery a full charge.